these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live, I don't know what these mad for. I just signed a deal and got a really big bag for it. You still at your mama crib, ain't getting money, you gotta ask for it. I'm tired of complaining, I gotta bitch change my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day these take, but that don't stop the money making. If you want it, go and take it, ain't no point in hesitating. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind.
Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the New York Giants. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On second down, it's Johnson. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter.
Well, every now and then you just absolutely outguess yourself. 3rd and inches, and they decide not to run the ball. You end up seeing the end result.
The end result was not good. They elect to pass, and it backfires. Now it's Tate. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. A handoff to Barkley. Call it a gain of a couple there as it'll leave him with a 2nd and just 3.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
That one covers 29 yards, 1st down. The safeties were well back there, and he had a lot of room. Were they in the cover too?
Yeah, they were, and the safeties were back. You know, usually they're 12 to 15 yards off the line of scrimmage, somewhere around the hash mark for each of them. But what also happens if the linebackers dive into the line, if you block them initially, that blocker can come off of them and get up to the safeties on the 2nd level, and now you've got a big place to run the football.
Check three.
We're set on 1st down. Completes it to Ellison to the right side. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
First carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12. From the gun, here's Brissett. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Devon Kennard in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
And it's 3rd down. 3rd and long.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now Brissett. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Remember, with Rosas, there was some speculation last year in the preseason that he might not hold on to his job with the Giants.
But he certainly answered the challenge, didn't he? 32 of 33 during the regular season, 97%.
Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
As that ball got away from him, and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
18 yards that time to push him up, 1st and goal.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. And Rosas puts this one through. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the 1st. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like
it's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Lions have tied it. If they hit the extra point, they'll have the lead. 1 play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go. First and 10 at their own 22.
New York set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
A first down carry for Barkley. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. After one, a one-point game, 7-6. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. Now they'll run on the draw. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll try to throw now. Brissett, he's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
A reminder, later tonight, Sunday Night Football will see a game in the NFL 100 Series, a rematch of the very first AFL-NFL Championship game, later, of course, known as Super Bowl I. It pits the Packers against the Chiefs from Arrowhead, and that should be a fun one. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Hey, echo. No. Here we go. Hey.
On 3rd down, Rosen looking downfield for Jones. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. And New York set to take the field. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach is...
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Trey Flowers make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And Tate's got it. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. Buying time to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Trey Flowers in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Out of the gun, Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. This is fielded at the 7. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 35. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
Hey, high 7.
From the gun, it's Rosen. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down.
Monday.
1st and 10 at the 23.
They'll look to throw on 1st down to Josh Rosen. Forced out to his left. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Tedrick Thompson picks it. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. Amendola, the intended receiver.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding goal.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
And that's caught inside the 30. Corey Coleman, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Corey Coleman. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are a 2-point conversion away from tying this football game. The Giant offense going to stay on the field as they'll go for 2. Brissett. And he'll get into the end zone, and those 2 points are going to tie the game. And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Rosen to throw. Dancing to his left. Oh, he finds his running back open downfield. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. They were looking for Johnson that time, but it'll be 2nd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Final play of the half here. It's Rosen completing it to the right side. Johnson. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and ready to get the party started for the 2nd half. It was an even 1st half, all tied on the scoreboard. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Second half begins with a run from Barkley. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now Saquon Barkley.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Here's a give to Barkley. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
51 to Mike, boy, 51.
On 2nd and 12, Brissett. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
Now, I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
13 yards, good for a Giant first down. Brissett now just 8 of 16 thus far, 50%, but it's 1st and 10. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Takes this to the 45. Not much space there after the nice move. And Justin Coleman brings him down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On the ground, it's Gallman again. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I wonder if they just kind of outguessed themselves a little bit trying to run it on 3rd down. Probably should have gone to the air to try and pick it up. Instead, the punting unit will have to run on the field.
So not just running into the punter, but roughing the punter.
And I'm struggling with this one. You know, you're watching it, partner. Is it more the first rather than the latter? This is a tough one. Almost feels like he felt like he had to call it on that play.
They'll run with Barkley. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Brissett. And it's incomplete.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 31 yards there and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Rosen hands off to Johnson. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Barkley. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On 2nd and 9, Brissett. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Quandre Diggs.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
I'm going back to you. I'm going back to you.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. B.J. Goodson there on the tackle.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They go to Johnson again. He's going to be stopped well behind the line of scrimmage, and that's pretty much going to wipe out their gain from 1st down. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Oh, Rosen is stripped of the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Back now at Ford Field. All square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the 4th quarter. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Coleman has it here right side. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Brissett now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing, Brissett. Throw left side, it's reeled in by Hamilton. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Brissett now. Being chased out left. He may try and run for this. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
And the Giants first down.
From the red zone now, Brissett. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Rashaan Melvin. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirt.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Check, 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 check.
Again, it's Johnson. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now Rosen looking at a 3rd and 2. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Bravo!
From the 35 on 2nd down, Rosen. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, and it's 3rd and short.
Middle. Hey, Delta!
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And this is going to be intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack on 1st down, Brissett, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Ben Heaney, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Here's Brissett. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And unable to connect, incomplete. Well, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's Rosen. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
I think you have to chalk that one up for the defense there. Someone right on the spot. Excellent coverage. Didn't leave him enough room to come down inbounds, even though he did catch the football.
Second and 10. It's Rosen again. Flush to his right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack, although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't, because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle boxes as defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally, get outside of that, and the ball that you throw has to get back to at least the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you face an intentional grounding call.
Now Rosen. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. B.J. Goodson with a pick. That's now 3 turnovers in this second half. Very costly. And earlier in the half, Charles, when I asked you for your keys to the second half, you said, hey, maybe try it, but it's going to be turnovers. That's been the story.
It certainly has, but I didn't expect it to be this much of the story. I mean, when you're getting up to 3, you're really...
And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Hauled in by Anderson, left side. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up second down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Rosen will throw. And Amendola with a catch. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10. The toss out to Barkley. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. They'll go to Barkley again. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
It's a gain of 15, and that ought to just about put an end to this one.
First down, New York.
Hey! 51's the mic. 51's the mic. 3 bucks. Under 10. 10. Check. Lucky.
On the run, it's Barkley. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. That one looks like he'll throw here. Caught right side, Tate. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Now Brissett. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty.